Carlton moved towards her, and Scarlett looked around as she talked and laughed with them. Suddenly, she noticed a stranger standing alone. He looked at least 35 and was tall and strong, with a black mustache. Scarlett went red as he stared at her with a cool smile. Then he turned away as someone called, "Rhett. Rhett Butler." Rhett Butler? Did she know the name? Scarlett's thoughts turned to Ashley and she forgot about the smiling man. "I must go and comb my hair," she told Stuart and Brent. "You boys wait for me, and do not run off with any other girl." As she went up the wide stairs, a shy voice behind her called her name. Scarlett turned and saw Charles Hamilton, a nice-looking boy with soft brown hair and deep brown eyes. She gave him her biggest smile. "Why, Charles Hamilton, you handsome old thing. I am sure you came all the way from Atlanta just to break my poor heart." Charles almost fainted. This was the way girls talked to other boys, not to him. "Now you wait here until I come back," said Scarlett. "And do not talk to those other girls or I will be very jealous." I won't," he said. Scarlett saw Rhett Butler, a few feet away. He was smiling again, and had a strange look in his eye as he stared at her. Scarlett went red again and hurried on up the stairs. Kathleen Calvert was in the bedroom. "Kathleen," said Scarlett, "who is that nasty man Butler?" "My dear, do not you know?" whispered Kathleen, excitedly. "He is from Charleston, but his family will not speak to him." "Really?" said Scarlett. "Why?" "He took a girl out riding in a carriage one afternoon and they stayed out nearly all night. When they finally arrived home, he said that the horse ran away and that they got lost in the forest. And guess what?" "Tell me," said Scarlett, hoping for the worst. "He refused to marry her the next day." "Oh," said Scarlett, disappointed. "He said that he did nothing to her, but her brother invited him to fight, and Mr. Butler shot him. Well, after that, Mr. Butler had to leave Charleston." "Did she have a baby?" whispered Scarlett. "No," said Kathleen, "but no one will ever marry her now." "I wish Ashley would stay out all night with me," thought Scarlett. "He is too much of a gentleman not to marry me afterwards." Chapter 3. Changes. Scarlett sat under a large tree, with her lunch on a plate in front of her. But although there were 7 handsome young men sitting around her, Ashley was not one of them and she was not happy. He was sitting on the grass with Melanie Hamilton, talking quietly and smiling the slow, lazy smile that Scarlett loved. Melanie had dark hair and a heart-shaped face. She was small, but seemed older than her 17 years. Scarlett saw Rhett Butler talking to John Wilkes. He looked at her and laughed, and she had the feeling that this nasty man knew her true feelings about Ashley, and was amused. It was 2 o'clock and the sun was warm. Scarlett was just wondering if India would suggest that the ladies went into the house, when she heard Gerald arguing with John Wilkes. "Hope for peace with the Yankees?" Gerald was shouting. "No, the South must show that it is strong and ready for a fight." Other men joined in the discussion. "Of course we will fight. Yankee thieves. One Southerner can fight 20 Yankees." Charles Hamilton found himself alone with Scarlett as the others moved away. "Miss O'Hara," he said, "if I go to fight, will you be sorry?" Scarlett thought men were stupid to think women were interested in these things, but she answered, "I will cry into my pillow every night," not meaning a word of it. "Miss O'Hara, I must tell you something," said Charles, suddenly feeling brave. I love you. I want to marry you." Scarlett wanted to tell Charles he looked silly, but said automatically, "This is so sudden. I do not know what to say." "I will wait forever," cried Charles. Scarlett noticed that Ashley was now with the group of men. "If Georgia fights, I will go with her," Ashley was saying. But most of the sadness in the world was caused by wars, and when they were over, no one knew what they were about. More arguing burst out after this until Rhett Butler spoke. "Gentlemen," he said, "can I say a word? There is not one gun factory in the South, and not a wool or cotton factory either. We have not a single warship, and the Yankees could quickly stop us selling our cotton abroad with a blockade. They have all the things we have not got, gentlemen. All we have is cotton and slaves, and brave talk.